All right, now on to our political debate on the program tonight. Akbar Road has become the newest battlefield, it would seem, after General V.K. Singh, union ministers, joined the voices in the BJP who are talking about renaming it after Maharana Pratap. BJP spokesperson Shaina NC has stoked the controversy further. She's now comparing Akbar to Hitler, and we'll be asking her how that comparison holds at all in a moment from now. But as the battle around names rages on, now you have actor Rishi Kapoor also joining this entire battle, going on Twitter today to say that while this debate rages on over Akbar Road, what about the fact that almost everything in this country has been named after the Gandhis? As he goes public with his opinion, Congress workers are outside his house in Mumbai protesting. Isn't this entire issue of name changing and fighting over names really a naam ke vaste waste of time? Or is it war by another name? That will be our big debate on the program today. We'll be going to Rishi in just a moment, but let me introduce our panel. We have Shaina NC, who made those contentious remarks. From the Congress, we have Manishankar Iyer. With me in the studio, Professor Rakesh Sinha, RSS ideologue, also Professor Irfan Habib, well-known historian, and Akar Patel, writer, columnist, and head of Amnesty International in India, is also joining us. But first, let me bring in the always blunt, the always opinionated, a man who doesn't pull his punches, Rishi Kapoor. Rishi, you jumped into this debate headlong this morning by saying on Twitter that हर चीज जो है इस देश में वो गांधीज के नाम में क्यों है? The result is that outside your house today you have Congress workers protesting. What is it that you were trying to say? What is the larger point that you were trying to make? That if we are debating roads and what should they be called, then the Congress too must answer as to why so many things are named after one family.
Hi, Barkha. Now, Barkha, first let me start with that. At the very onset, I have no political aspirations. I am not a spokesperson for any party. I have never even campaigned for anybody but for Vinod Khanna, who's my colleague. I did it just once for him. So I don't have an agenda. I'm not against anybody. As a matter of fact, my whole family have been firm believers in Congress. And I, for one, I have always called a spade a spade. When I was watching television last night, I heard this controversy over the renaming of roads. Then I realized that they have renamed cities from Bombay to Mumbai and everything. I said to myself that there are certain national assets which have been named after one family. Most of the national assets have been named by one family. Why is it so? I just argue, why can they not be named after the eminent people of cities or different towns? It just occurred to me. And that is when I just tweeted for my Twitter family. You know, we enjoy talking this, and then I think the press picked it up and blew it over. And they've given it a political color. Please, I am the last person to have any political ambitions. I have nothing, no agenda at all on this.
And Rishi, in fact, in the past, you've actually been very public about your criticism of the beef ban. That was by a BJP government in Maharashtra. Now you're criticizing the Congress. You're an equal opportunity offender.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
I'm not siding by anybody. I greatly respect the Gandhi family. They have been very nice to us. I've been very friendly with them as well. And I don't have anything against them. It's the people who have just trying to propagate them for a very long time. I believe that someone has tweeted me right now. I'm seeing that I'm holding in hand. There are 64 prominent installations in only New Delhi by itself with the Gandhi family, including Motilal Nehru ji, Jawaharlal Nehru ji, Indira Gandhi ji, Feroz Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, and Sanjay Gandhi. Now, my question is that when we made this Bandra Worli link, why did they have to name it after Rajiv Gandhi? अगर कांग्रेस को ऐसे ही था, they should have named it after Nehru ji. और अगर ऐसे ही था तो महात्मा गांधी के नाम पे करना चाहिए था ना? Why is everything that? Why is the Borivali National Park, where I've sung a lot of songs, is it named? It is named Sanjay Gandhi Park. Sanjay Gandhi was never a prime minister of this country. There's a Kamala Nehru Park also in Bombay. There are so many of these installations. I'm seeing this tweet in my hand. Why? I'm just trying to assess it that we should be rational. We should name it after. There are such philanthropists. Look at Azim Premji. He has donated over 12,000 crores just for education. Why is it not under J.R.D. Tata or maybe Lata Mangeshkar or Sachin Tendulkar or Amitabh Bachchan? Oh, I'm sorry, talking from all kinds of life. Kirloskar hua, ya Tata, ya for that matter, Dhirubhai Ambani. I mean, these people have contributed to the city. Why does everything, जो political party आती है वो अपने नेताओं के नाम से शुरू हो जाते हैं? I think constitutionally we should change it that no national asset can be named after any politician.
That's interesting. And in fact, at one point you say in your tweets, "बाप का माल समझ रखा है क्या?" And you also say, "हर चीज गांधी के नाम." I don't agree. And I think you have a point.
I wish you could show this tweet.
Yeah, the tweets are on.
I wish I could forward it and you could show it. There are
Yeah.
64 prominent places only in New Delhi.
Yeah.
All over these places. So why is it so? I'm not against them, bhai. I'm just trying to say that let's be, give it a new. Why just one party? Why just one family? It sounds very Hitlerian. I just heard you saying about China and NC saying that.
Yeah.
Why is it just one family only?
How do you see this entire jhagda that we seem to keep having in this country? Rishi, just a last comment from you. कि इसका नाम ये बदलो, Bombay को Mumbai, and it goes on. Calcutta को Kolkata. Manishankar Iyer is on this program. He changed Connaught Place to Rajiv Chowk. I have never called it that. I continue to call it Connaught Place. I continue to call Mumbai Bombay and make the Shiv Sena angry. And I think you're making 2 points.
Say Bombay, then I correct myself. It's okay. These names are actually kept because the Britishers could not pronounce it, so we've gone back. That's understandable. But I am just of the opinion, and I'm pleased, I stand by this, and I'm not siding by anybody. I just want national assets should be named after prominent citizens of this country. Why is it nothing against Sardar Patel or Lokmanya Tilak, Bhagat Singh? There are so many great politicians also. Why is everything only Rajiv Gandhi? Why is everything only Indira Gandhi? We've got one in Indira Gandhi International Airport. Why are there so many things in Delhi which is named after them only?
And you've said, in fact, in other parts of the country, it's the Sea Link in Mumbai, the Borivali Park, Chandigarh.
Barka, I would ask anybody who's hearing me in any city of this country, अपने गरवान में झांक के पूछो कि आपके शहर में कितने हैं उनके नाम से. Congress has just taken, I was seeing somebody has just taken me on my surprise that probably I said there's one international airport named after Indira Gandhi. Okay, I followed that. I made a mistake by saying the airports are named after them. They can't beat around that. What about the Sea Link? What about Sanjay Gandhi National Park? What has Sanjay Gandhi done for the country? He's not been a prime minister.
And you're making
Jawaharlal Nehru's wife के नाम पे कमला पार्क, कमला प्लेस, कमला क्या-क्या नहीं है दिल्ली में? नेहरू प्लेस, नेहरू एनक्लेव, कितनी चीजों को नेहरू से बुलाओगे यार?
What is your solution? कि बहुत हो गया, it's like one family's political royalty.
I have not stirred a hornet's nest. I've just tried to make a point कि why shouldn't we name them after people who have contributed? कब उनको भी you must give them some provenance for posterity.
Yeah.
There have been people who have contributed to the cities, to the country. Their name should be. You think J.R.D. Tata has not contributed for Mumbai?
Yeah. I think you make a very good point, actually, Rishi, and please continue to be as blunt as you are. Please continue to be an equal opportunity offender.
People should take me with a pinch of salt in the sense that I'm not hitting anybody below the belt. I'm just trying to make a point कि इसको सुधारो.
जी,
जो government आती है वो अपने नेताओं पे शुरू हो जाता है. That place, this enclave, this auditorium. You go to any place, any hospital, university, school, college, यहाँ तक के LIC की योजना वो सब राजीव गांधी के नाम पे है अभी भी. कोई सोचता नहीं इसके बारे में.
You've raised some very valid points, Rishi. Thank you. Pleasure to have you and your blunt opinions on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I couldn't come on camera. I've been very tired up, but thank you. And I really voice his opinion for I love my country and I'm a nationalist. I don't side by any of these groups, please. For that matter of fact, please. And there's been agitation out of my house. I feel sorry for them because they're not understanding what I'm trying to say. बात का पतंगड़ बनाए रहे सब लोग.
Bilkul. And thank you so much, Rishi Kapoor. Now, Rishi frames the debate for us. On the one end of the spectrum, he's saying, har cheez ko Gandhi ke naam. On the other hand, you have Shaina NC, who's comparing Akbar to Hitler. Shaina, in this, in my opinion, useless debate, in this useless debate over names and what should be named and what should be renamed, if you are going to look at Akbar as an invader, as an outsider, then I guess his grandson is also an invader and an outsider. तो वो जो Red Fort से झंडा लहराता है हर 15 अगस्त, उसका क्या होगा Shaina? What will happen to the Red Fort from the ramparts of which the national flag flies every Independence Day? Because that was built by Shah Jahan.
Barkha, first at the outset, let me say I applaud people like Rishi Kapoor who speak their mind and speak so vociferously for all the Indians who are just silently watching every flyover, every hospital, every airport, every ceiling being named after one family legacy. So that is one aspect of this debate. My opinion is not to suggest that Akbar is like Hitler. I said imagine if in Israel you had a Hitler road, would that be applauded?
That means you're
Now,
saying
the
that
fact of
Akbar,
history
that means you're
is
saying
that
that
the
Akbar,
Mughals did
you're saying what
plunder.
Hitler was to Israel. 1 minute,
Just let
Shaina.
me-
Shaina,
let
1
me
minute.
please complete
You are
my
saying what
point.
Hitler was to Israel, Akbar is to India. In other words, Hitler was responsible for the Holocaust
Well,
and the
let me
massacre of
just
Jews,
complete my
and
point,
therefore
Barkha.
Israel could never accept him. You are literally saying that Akbar is that to
Let me
Indians.
complete my point.
Yes.
Let me complete my point. Were the Mughals oppressors? Did they actually rule this country of ours, and did we fight to enjoy this kind of independence we have from the colonial era, from the Mughal emperors, etc.? Now look at the irony of Delhi. You have a Babur Road, a Humayun Road, a Shah Jahan Road, an Aurangzeb Road, an Akbar Road, all in the national capital. And there you do not even concede or consider the point that you have great kings like Maharana Pratap who were secular, who were led by example, who had
also
in their
have-
own
Shaina,
army,
may I just interrupt
right
you
from
just
the
to point
Pathan
out that
leading
you also
to the
have-
Adivasis, to
Shaina,
the Vaishyas,
Shaina,
to
since
the
you may not-
Bhils, and I think that
China, since you're from Mumbai, Bombay, whatever you want to call it, and I'm from Delhi, let me also tell you there's also a Todarmal lane and there's also a Tansen Marg, and these are people who worked with Akbar. So this is not
Mansingh Road.
Mansingh Road. Mansingh Road, who's all three are Hindus who worked with Akbar, the Great, as
this
we were
is
taught to
not
call him.
about
Bhagwan
Hindu
Das Road.
Muslim.
Then what is it about? You
This
have
is
you
not
have
about
Dr.
Hindu,
Subramaniam
Muslim.
Swami.
This is about a-
You have Dr. Subramaniam
One
Swami
moment.
saying a
You had
disproportionate number of roads are named after Muslim conquerors. So obviously it is about Hindu Muslim in that way.
You'd like to choose to view it that way.
I'm
I am
quoting
an
him.
Indian citizen and I'm entitled to my opinion, as is everyone else. Rishi
Okay.
Kapoor has a point when he talks about the Congress legacy.
Yeah.
I have a point when I talk about the Mughal legacy. And if we forget what happened in Chittor and how many people died, let's not go back into time. I think in the 21st century, we are entitled to revisit history, and especially in the space of our national capital.
Okay.
This is not to rake any kind of controversy. If there is a proposal which General VK Singh has proposed, it is for Venkaiah Naidu ji to decide whether it is legit or not. But as a citizen, I think I have every right to say what I feel, and I did
Well, the
not
minister-
compare Akbar to Hitler. I said you will not have a Hitler road in Israel.
By
And at the
analogy,
same
it is a
time,
comparison.
Yes, we do concede
By
that the
analogy, it is
Mughals
saying what
did have a
Hitler is to
legacy,
Israel,
but
Akbar
they
is to
did-
India.
they
Okay, Mani
did
Shankar Iyer
kill
now.
a lot of Indians
Okay.
as well.
Mani Shankar Iyer, the problem with the Congress is this. Rishi Kapoor has an opinion Congress workers land up outside his house to protest. That militates against, the whole notion of tolerance. Secondly, if you're going to protest the rewriting or the revisionist history of the BJP, which you have a right to do, what about the sycophancy that your party and people like you have applied to the Gandhi family? You were the key driver of wanting to change Delhi's Connaught Place to Rajiv Chowk, and I remember at that time you said you didn't want Connaught Place to be named after a foreigner. Now this is your own medicine, BJP style. They're saying Akbar was an invader. You called Connaught Place something named after a foreigner. Are we going to keep revisiting our history? And both of you have done it for different reasons, but you've done the same thing.
I believe that the British regarded themselves as foreigners, that they treated this country as a colony, that they had no intention of becoming Indian, that they wished to discriminate against Indians,
Yeah.
that they wished to impoverish our country for their own prosperity, and therefore there was an anti-colonial movement. Now, in terms of that anti-colonial movement, a city that had been built for imperial glory had a series of roads whose names had been changed long before I turned to Connaught Place.
Okay.
My memory shows that King George's Avenue is today Rajaji Marg, that King Edward's Road is today Maulana Azad Road, that Hastings Road is named after V.K. Krishna Menon. That Harding Road, Harding Avenue, is now called Tilak Road. So there was a process by which the colonial legacy of India was being removed from the capital of independent India.
Okay.
But there was one curious anomaly. That a man who barely had anything to do with India and was a member of the subaltern royalty and who happened to come in to represent the King Emperor to inaugurate one or two buildings, he succeeded in giving his name, Connaught Place, to Connaught Place and to Connaught Circus. And I found that that was an anomaly in a situation where we had already changed the names of dozens upon dozens of roads, those belonging
Okay.
to the imperial power, the colonial power.
Okay.
And it was in that context that I made my suggestion.
the point, of course,
But
was-
I do want to add at the same time
Yes.
that I do not apply that
Yes.
to the Muslim rulers of India. And above all, not to Akbar. In fact, I'd like to point out to your listeners that there is no Akbar road in Pakistan because they don't regard him as a true Muslim. He brought up the Deen-e-Ilahi. His court consisted of people from various different religions.
Yes.
But even more important, he was so interested in listening to what different religious philosophies were that the Jesuits were invited. They were asked to come and spend their time and explain what they were thinking about.
Okay.
So here is a man who is truly great and whose name happens to mean great. I've heard that Rajnath Singh says if Akbar is the great, then Rana Pratap is the greatest of the great. Well, he's welcome to think he's the greatest of the great. But if you look at any Islamic invocation, it says Allahu Akbar, which means that Allah is great. So Akbar means great. He didn't give the title to himself. It was his father who gave
Okay.
him that
Let
name.
me.
And I see that today, while in terms of numbers,
Yes.
India may be the world's largest Hindu country, in terms of exactly that same criterion, we are the world's largest Muslim country.
I need to get in
It
Professor
is
Rakesh
the
Sinha now.
second largest country.
Yes.
It's second, and you cannot conceive of India today without Islam, or of Islam in the world
Okay.
today without India.
I need to get the others in now.
these circumstances, to call people like Akbar the equivalent of Hitler in Israel seems to me to show a level of historical illiteracy that is to be condemned and
Okay.
certainly not to be accepted.
Okay, Professor
And if
Sinha
they
now.
want to name a road,
I need
and
to
if
get Rakesh
finally they
Sinha.
want to name a road, if they want to name a road after Maharana Rana Pratap, I suggest they do that to the road on which Narendra Modi lives. There's no reason why it should be called Racecourse Road and make him look like a better. You call that Maharana Rana Pratap Road?
Okay, we'll
I'd
take
have
that.
no
We'll take that to
objection.
BJP just a moment. Professor Rakesh Sinha, the point is this: how much are you going to? How far back in history are you going to go? And I think Manishankar Iyer, while I don't agree with him in the renaming of Connaught Place, and I think Rishi Kapoor makes a very valid point about everything being named after one family. The fact is that there is 300 years of Mughal rule. The fact is that our greatest wonder, the Taj Mahal, derives to us from the familial legacy of Akbar. That Red Fort, as I said, comes to us from Akbar's grandson.
No, first I will thank Rishi Kapoor
Yes.
that he has raised the question which is representing the subconscious or collective subconscious of Indians, because it is just see, after this government people started raising certain questions which were not being raised in past.
So let's say we
Past,
agree
because,
on that.
No,
Let's
no,
say we agree.
and Manishankar,
Let's say we agree on that.
Manishankar Iyer could not
We'll
respond.
take that back
could not
to him, but
respond-
I'm asking
respond
you
to
what
this
is
question.
Akbar Road
No,
thing?
I am coming to this is a larger question, Barkha. The debate on history.
Yes.
This is not merely the naming of a particular
Yes.
road, because the history has been under the cage of the Marxist and Nehruvian historians. They acted as just agent. They are Marxists. They are learned people, but at the same time they also acted as the dynasty agents. They wrote history in such a way that they glorified this dynasty
How
and
does
the people.
Akbar
I'm
reflect?
giving one
How does
example.
Akbar? How
I'm
does
giving-
Akbar? There are only two
Yes, I'm
kings I
coming-
read about who were called
Barkha,
great:
I'm coming-
Ashoka the Great and Akbar the Great.
I'm coming to the point.
Yes.
India's history doesn't begin either with the colonial rule or the Mughal rule.
Yes, agreed.
India has the
Agreed.
10,000 years of history.
Agreed.
And you have
But the
confined.
Mughals
No,
assimilated.
you have confined history to this Babur, Akbar, and the
So what is Akbar
entire-
for you? What is Akbar for you?
I think Akbar. One thing. Akbar was comparatively a liberal ruler among the Mughal rule.
Yes.
But as for comparison with Rana Pratap, there is no comparison between the two. Akbar
But Rana
attacked
Pratap was the
no,
ruler
let
of
me-
Mewar,
let
and
me-
Akbar
let
was
me-
the emperor of the country.
Akbar was emperor. Akbar was imperialistic nature. He attacked Mewar, and Rana Pratap resisted his attack. You know, 30,000 unarmed people were killed by Akbar. No. In the Indian history,
But
there is
there's
no
also
other.
Sir, there's also Ashoka and Kalinga.
Look, you just see.
I'm just giving you a parallel.
I have to complete
Yes.
here. In Allahabad, there is Kamala Nehru Road, but they are forgetting there is Uda Devi. She was a Pasi. In 1857, in Hazrat Mahal army, she killed 35 British army.
Yes.
And the Congress people don't remember Uda Devi. So I say history should be inclusive. You have made the history the prisoner
So,
of dynasty, and,
Okay,
and
let me
I
get
think,
Professor
I
Habib.
think Rana Pratap, the naming Rana Pratap a road is a tribute to him, his sacrifice,
But do
his
you have
patriotism.
absolutely? But do you have to take Akbar Road and
Exactly.
name it Rana Pratap
You see,
Road?
this
Professor
is
Habib,
my problem is, I agree with Rishi Kapoor.
you
Almost.
agree with Rishi Kapoor?
I
think we
agree
all
with
agree with Rishi
yeah,
Kapoor.
because
Maybe not
there's no
Manish
doubt
Rai,
about
but the
it.
rest of
And
us do.
yeah, because he's actually right on almost 90% because few things he
Yeah.
may be wrong, but he's basically right. And most of Indians actually agree with them. Even some congressmen will agree with them,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
who feel that we have really gone too far. But dragging Akbar into this debate of renaming, replacing with Maharana Pratap is actually bizarre. I don't think there is any conflict between Maharana Pratap's greatness and Akbar's greatness. Maharana Pratap was great as a ruler of Mewar, brave ruler of Mewar. We all respect him. We all should respect him. And I don't know,
Isn't
like
the greatness
Rakesh
of India or the diversity of India that Akbar and Rana Pratap can coexist
this is
in
the country.
modern India's recollection of its past?
This is a country where Maharana Pratap's greatness and Akbar's greatness can be conceded by everyone simultaneously. It is not Pakistan where Akbar don't exist.
So it doesn't have to be either or.
It can't be
You
either
don't
or.
have to choose
You
between
don't have to be.
Rana
You
Pratap
don't
and
have
Akbar.
to. You don't
Akar,
have
if
to.
you had to look at this politically and not historically, what's really going on here?
I think it's the same old story we have of Hindutva trying to bully Muslims, and they do it in various ways. They do it through beef, they do it through renaming, but the theme is constant. I think that to bring up somebody like Rana Pratap, who has zero achievement to his name, at
Zero
Haldighati,
achievement.
Now you object his
we are told
statement.
that
Have you
उनको
read?
बोलने तो दे, उनको
Have you
बोलने तो
read
दे।
anything about Rana Pratap?
राकेश जी, उनको बोलने
No,
तो
no.
दीजिए, you can
What
respond.
is this?
अरे, it's a free country,
No,
उनको
this
बोलने
is a
तो
free
दे।
country. This doesn't mean that you
Rakesh
will
ji,
abuse
you can
Rana
argue with him
Pratap.
after
He
he
said zero
Let him
achievement.
finish
What?
complete the sentence.
Let him explain what is zero
Okay,
achievement.
Akar, please explain.
At Haldighati, 150 men of the empire die, 500 Rajputs die. On both sides, the majority killed are Rajputs. The Rajput empires of Ambar, of Bundi, are fighting for the Mughals. Rana Pratap's brother, Sagarji, is fighting for the Mughals. The commander on the side of the Mughals is a Rajput, Mansingh I.
Yes.
I think this is a minor skirmish that Hindu nationalism has elevated to a war against the Muslims. It wasn't a war, it was quite small. I think to say that this man was the same as an individual who ruled northern India, not the whole of the subcontinent, for 50 years, who settled the land revenue system. It's slightly odd. I think that we should be having this debate and people are shouting at me while we say it. There is no evidence of any sort of achievement that you would have a road on his name. But it's fine. I'm saying that it's the old story of Hindutva doing it slyly. I think that they are not brave enough to do it openly. They will do it slyly, that they will bully Muslims on every issue and hope that we will back down. I think we should get rid of this farce, end the naming of roads on Muslims all over India. We should only have Hindu names. I agree entirely that we ought not to have names of the Nehru Gandhi family. With them, we ought to get rid of also all the Muslim names. We would not be wasting time
No, I
on
think
this sort
you're
of
being
debate.
sarcastic.
No, Barkha.
Ek minute. He's being sarcastic. You're obviously being sarcastic.
No, he is giving communal interpretation of the entire debate.
I'm just asking him and then you can
I am
respond.
asking
Let
one
it get one
question.
sen- oh, you want to
Just
ask
I am asking one question.
Okay.
There is Dara Sikho.
Yes.
There is Abdul Kalam Azad. There is Maulana Azad. There are people who exist. Here the question is that Akbar killed 30,000 unarmed people. You say there is no achievement of Rana Pratap. There is no comparison of his sacrifice.
See, let me.
Epitome of, just I have complete. He is epitome of sacrifice and patriotism. Last line, one sentence. Ho Chi Minh, a Vietnamese communist leader, came India, took inspiration from Rana Pratap and went Vietnam. You have no inspiration from Rana Pratap. That's other matter.
Can Professor Habib then Akar come in? Okay, Professor Habib then Akar. Yeah. Okay, Rakesh ji, Rakesh ji.
See, my problem is that, like you have done just now, you in 21st century you discuss medieval
Why not, sir?
You can't.
Why
Those values are very different.
History has been imposed.
All medieval rulers actually killed each other.
No, 30,000. There is no parallel in the
What
history.
about Ashoka and Kalinga? What about Ashoka and... So you agree with the comparison with Hitler? You are saying Akbar is Hitler. Are you saying Akbar is Hitler?
I don't say that. But Hitler had done same thing.
Ashoka, I keep reminding you about Ashoka. Ashoka and
Kalinga. The phase of Ashoka was...
Yes, the last phase. But before he reached that phase, there was Kalinga.
Valmiki. In the last phase of Valmiki...
Do you know...
Okay,
do you know that...
So it is the last phase, right?
Do you know...
It is the last phase.
Akbar didn't fight a single battle against Maharana Pratap, including Haldi Ghati. It was Man Singh who fought on his...
Who attacked?
Akbar was a ruler. Fighting each other.
Akbar was a ruler. Oh, he was a just...
Okay, let Akar complete his point.
Let
Akar complete his point. Go back to the politicians. Okay, Rakesh ji.
Obviously, they were all fighting for power.
Irfan Sahib, Rakesh ji. Akar, since you triggered this, go ahead.
I'd like to point out a few things.
Yes.
Why do the Marathas squat over Baroda? Because they were conquerors. Why do the Scindia squat over Gwalior? They speak Marathi, they don't speak Hindi. Why are they there? Everybody in that period grabbed whatever they could on the force of the sword. So did the Mughals. Does it make them bad? The number is not 30,000. People say that 50,000 people were massacred at Chittor. I think the professor ought to revisit his history book. We don't know whether that number is true or not. James Todd said 14,000 Rajputs died at Haldighati. The Mughals who won the war said only 500 died. Why would the victor lie? We don't know that.
Yeah.
To revisit this in 2016 has only one end, and that is exactly the same end as the Uniform Civil Code debate, the debate on the Babri Masjid, the debate on beef, which is that this is a majoritarian culture which bullies its minorities relentlessly and violently.
I want to get Shaina in on that. Shaina, the fact is that it's beginning to seem, some would say, like, is this a Mughal purge? Is this an attempt to purge the Mughals from India's history? Manishankar Iyer is drawing a distinction between anti-colonialism and being anti-Mughals. Because, you know, there is an assimilation, there is an, you know, tomorrow you might say, let's not call India, India. The construct of India is not an organic concept, at least not the name.
First, Barkha, I'd like to reply to Akar, where he talks about, you know, as if to suggest that we want to change every road and use all kinds of Hindu names. This is factually untrue. Example in the recent past is Aurangzeb name to Abdul Kalam Road, and I think that that has been welcomed by Indians. What was Rishi Kapoor speaking about? It is the sentiment of all Indians, which is move beyond one family.
But he was talking about the Gandhis, in particular road being named after Gandhi.
One moment, I am coming to that. But the fact is that if we were to rename first, we should be renaming all these various attributes to Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, Sanjay Gandhi, etc.
I agree that there's a political sycophancy that is absolutely wrong, but please tell me about Akbar.
Yes, but I am coming to that. When you talk about Delhi, I cited in the beginning, if you have a Babur, a Humayun, a Shah Jahan, a Timur, a Aurangzeb, a Akbar, all in Lutyens' Delhi, and if we haven't really realized the contribution, contrary to what anyone in your panel may say, historically
so
of Maharana Pratap,
Maharana
as a secular
Pratap.
leader,
Have another road. Why do you have to rename Akbar Road to Rana Pratap Road?
As well.
Okay, Manishankar Iyer. Manishankar Iyer, has the Congress blotted its own record?
Made by VK Singh. It is for Venkaiah Naidu to accept or
Venkaiah Naidu
reject.
said this is not on our agenda.
You
I have
can't
to
shout
close.
me down and say I am not entitled to an opinion or somebody else
No, I'm not shouting you down. I'm not shouting you down. I'm in fact asking Manishankar Iyer to respond to your opinion. Mani, please go ahead. I have to close. Everybody gets 30 seconds now. Mani, please.
As far as I am concerned, the Gandhi family, or rather the Nehru Gandhi family, have been building modern India for most of the years after independence, and therefore it is not surprising that in the circumstances in which at least two of them died, they were martyred, there was an emotional response which said that things should be named after them. There's a reverberation.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the idea that
But
in
how
Delhi
many times?
we do not
Yeah, how many
have,
times is a fair
we do
question?
not, this, I'm
So
sorry,
just
may
everything.
I just finish?
Yeah.
In Delhi, we have Shri Aurobindo Marg. In Delhi, we have Ashoka Road. In Delhi, as you pointed out, there are a number of those who were prominent Hindus in Muslim times, in Mughal times,
Yeah.
whose names are recorded around the Bengali market area.
Yes.
So it's completely untrue to suggest that everything is either named after the Muslims or it's named after
Okay.
the Gandhis.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is that many of the institutions are private institutions, like the Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute.
Okay.
If they want to name it after him, they've named it.
I do have to
and
close-
in Bombay, you've got any number of institutions that are named after others.
But I think
And
I think
either
it's
the
absolutely
Hinduja
fair. I
Hospital,
think it's absolutely
there's a
fair.
Jindal Hospital. There are many institutions
Okay,
named after the
I
Tatas.
will keep my
So
closing.
what are these people talking about?
Okay,
If they want to name Rouse Avenue as Deen Dayal Upadhyay
Maybe you
Marg,
should just-
did we object?
Okay,
No.
I really am out of time
They can.
now.
They are
Mani,
welcome to bring their people. They've named an
Maybe
airport
you should highlight
in
how many
Port Blair
50
after
seconds,
Savarkar.
Rakesh,
And we believe
I
that
just say-
Savarkar was involved in Mahatma Gandhi's
Okay, let's not reopen this debate.
And still we haven't changed.
Mani, I have to say thank you
I
now.
just
Yeah.
say that there is no comparison between Rana Pratap and Akbar as far as character is concerned. If you are comparing the two, you are doing great injustice with Maharana Pratap. Whether road is renamed
You
or
don't have
not,
to
not
take
renamed.
Akbar
That is
road
that
to
is the
rename to make a road after Maharana
There is
Pratap.
nothing wrong if it is renamed.
Okay,
Actually,
nothing wrong if it's renamed.
Yes.
I want to add what Rakesh Sinha said. It will be injustice to both if we actually put them as binaries. We should not.
Have to choose
We
between
should
them.
not. We don't have to be either or.
Akar,
No,
Akar,
both
you
of
get
them
the
are
last
great.
word. Akar, you get the last word. I have to close.
Ms. Dutt, greatness is not measured by character. We don't know how character is measured. It is measured by achievement. I think that is something we need to look at. I think we ought to, since the BJP is in power, we should fight the battles of today. Let us rename the things named after the Gandhis now. Let us leave the ancient times and the medieval period alone.
Well, provocative as ever, Akar Patel. We'll leave it there. The fact of the matter is that this is a deeply political conversation at the heart of it. We can pretend we're talking about politics, but we're really talking about war by another name. Akar, Mani, Shaina, Professor Habib, Professor Rakesh Sinha. Thank you so much for joining us. And that's it on the program tonight. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.